Welcome back to this channel. Today I'm very excited because we are going to start with variables as I promised in my last couple of videos. So first of all, what is a variable? I'm pretty sure you must have traveled somewhere or you might have moved a house. So when you travel to another country or another state or maybe to your nana's house, you must have carried a bag. Now that bag might be a bag of clothes, that would be most probably, or it might be a bag full of money, and you would be really lucky if you had that, or that could be a bag full of toys for your nephew, nieces, or some other kids. Similarly, if you moved a house, you might have had boxes where you were putting stuff into and then taking to the new house and then emptying them in the new house. These boxes could be a box of food or grocery items that you were putting into that box, or they could be cutleries. So, whatever you were putting in the box was defining that box, right? So, if you were putting clothes in your travel bag, then it was a clothes bag. If you're putting toys in it, that was a toy bag. If you were putting cutlery in the box, then it was a cutlery box. So, depending on what you were putting into the box, you were defining the box. Similarly, variables in any programming language are containers, are these boxes where you put values into. So you put values in these containers, and those values actually define what the variable is. And I'm going to explain that in programming itself. So let's get started. So I just started Visual Studio Code. I'm going to make a new file. I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it as my203. A very important thing is putting .py. If you don't put py here, your computer is not going to recognize that this is actually a Python file. So please, please, please make sure that you're putting .py here. There we go. We have created this file. Now, until now, I have shown you that you can use Python as a calculator. And I'm going to show that to you again. All I did was type Python in the output section. Then I got these three arrows. And then I type 2 plus 3 gives me 5. Similarly, I can do 3 plus 7 gives me 10. Perfect. Everything was working. But what if instead of writing this 3 here, you wanted to use this 3? You couldn't, because you were not saving any values anywhere, so you can't reuse them. So if you were not putting something in a box, you can't empty it. The box is always empty if you didn't put anything in it. So what to do here? What you do is create variables. So first of all, let me exit out of this. And I will also clear the output. So I'm just typing clear. There we go, it's clear. Now, when you started learning mathematics, I'm pretty sure you did addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, um, and you just did that on numbers. But things changed when algebra came in place. That's when you started using x and y and z or z. Remember that, guys? Those were fun times, I guess. But anyways, again, in programming as well, we use x, y, and z's. It's just something that's been happening for ages in programming. We use a lot of x, y, z's, I, j's, different. If you have no particular name, we just use x, y, z, I, j, something like that for a variable. So let's use x, and let's put 3 in it. Similarly, let's take y, let's put 2 in it. Perfect. Now, in most programming languages, you actually have to define what you're putting in the variable. So you have to write something like int x. In Python, you don't have to, because we are working in Python. We don't have to define what this variable is going to store. Python is so readable and intelligent that as soon as you put the value here, it automatically detects what it's going to store. So if you put so Python automatically detected that x is an integer, y is an integer, name is a string because it's within double quotes. And how can you check this? Obviously Python is intelligent, but it's not telling you that I'm intelligent. So you need to see that too. So what do? You type print, type type, sorry, type, and you type x, and then you generate the output. So it's telling me the type of x variable is integer. Isn't that great, guys? X is an integer, and you can see that here. Similarly, print type y, that's also an integer. Similarly, print type z, sorry, I didn't use z, I use 9. Sorry, my bad. That's a string. So as you can see, this typing type and the variable name within braces tells you the type of that particular integer. However, if you don't do this print, it wouldn't print that. So let's create another one. Let's do surname. Let's do Freeman. Okay, now if I comment these out, I could use multi-line comments, but and I will clear this output as well. If I just do type surname, see, that's fine. but nothing will be printed because we didn't ask Python to print it. But if I do print type surname, now it's going to show that it's a string. So I hope this makes sense to you, what variables are and how to see types of these variables. Now variables could be integer, they could be float, could be strings, depending on what you put the value in as. Okay. Now, what's the point of creating these variables if you're not going to do anything with it? So let's do something with it. Let's do z or z equals to x plus y. And let's print z. So I'm putting total of x plus y in z, and I'm printing z. Gives me 5. I can obviously do print x plus y as well to print 5. So I hope you now get how to do operations like addition, multiplication, subtraction, division on these variables. Similarly, I can perform operations on string variables as well. And I'll show you. Let's do print name plus surname. What is going to be the output? The output is going to be Morgan Freeman. However, there's no space between the names, so it's just going to be Morgan Freeman. However, if I wanted it to be displayed properly, I'll just put a space here. And now it's going to be Morgan Freeman with a space. I can store this in a variable as well, like actor. I won't do it now, but because I want to show you something else. Can I do this? Can I do print name plus surname plus 7? Can I do this? And if I do, let's just comment this one out as well. Can this work? It won't. Now I'll show you the error. It says type error, can only concatenate strings to string. So what the hell this means? It means that you can only concatenate two strings. You can't add a number to it. You can't add integer to a string. So what we were doing here in this line, we were concatenating two strings. So we were putting Morgan and Freeman together. That's what concatenation means. But we can't actually do that with integers and strings. So what do we do here then? What we do here is called typecasting. So what I do is I do name plus surname plus Actually, let's just store 7 somewhere. Or let's just change this to 4. Let's do z equal to x plus y. Let's just do this. So what I've done is I've created a new variable z, which is x plus y, and I changed the y value to 4. So that's 7, because I specifically want to use 7. You might ask why. Because Morgan Freeman was in 7, the movie. So yeah, I'm putting z x plus y, and I'm going to concatenate that with the name. And actually, I'll just put a space here as well. So if I print it now, you can see Morgan Freeman 7. So what I did here, str z. This changed the z value from integer to string. So when you do something like this, it's called typecasting. I could also do something like int. So say for example, if I had a equals to 10, b equals to 5. Let's comment everything else. Okay, so a is equals to 10, b is equal to 5. However, if I do type, or actually print type a, and I run it, it's gonna show me it's a string. Why? Because yes, it is 10, but it's within quotes, which means it's actually a string. And if I do print a plus b, you might think that it's gonna be printing 15, but it won't. It's actually gonna print 105. So what I did was, it was putting 10 and 5, wasn't adding them, it was concatenating them. So that's the difference between addition and concatenation. If these were strings, they would be concatenated. If these were integers and you run print a plus b, then you will get a total of them. So they will be added together. Strings get concatenated. So can I change this 105 to can I do something like c? Let's say int can I do this? Can I change the value of a plus b? Actually, why am I printing it here? Sorry. Can I do this? Can I change the value of a plus b from string to integer? And can I store that in variable c? Yes, I can. Now if I do print c, it's going to show me 105. However, this 105 is actually not a string, it's actually an integer because we changed the value from string to integer. We typecasted it. So now if I do print type c, it's going to show me that it's actually an integer. So guys, this is how you change values from string to integers, integers to strings, string to floats. A very important thing is whenever you get an input from a user. So let me just show you that as well. I'm just going to clear this. And also I'm just going to comment all of this. What I mean is, let's say print enter a number, enter first number, right? And let's say num1 is equal to input. So what just happened here? I'm printing a statement which says enter first number, and then I'm storing whatever the user is inputting in num1. So this input command here, if you read the description of it, it says read a string from standard input. So what it's doing is whatever the user is inputting, it's storing the value of that input in num1. However, it is going to be stored as a string, not as an integer. Similarly, okay, so what I've done is I've requested the user to enter the first number. I'm storing that value from first input into num1. Then I've requested the user to enter second number. I'm storing that value in num2. Then I've created a new variable, num3, and I'm adding these two. And I'm printing num3. Now, you might think that this is perfectly fine. It's not. Because what's happening is we are asking the user to enter numbers. Numbers are integers. Then we are using the input command to get those numbers. And then we are adding these two strings that we are getting from the input. So do you think the addition will work? It won't, because strings concatenate, integers add. So what do you think the output is gonna be? It will be a concatenation. So let's try this. Enter first number. So let's say 4. Enter second number. Let's try 6. Do you think the output is gonna be 10, which is 4 plus 6? No, the output is gonna be 46. So what do I do here? I change it to int. Now, if I run the same thing again, so let's just clear this. It's gonna show me 10. 4, 6, output is 10. So guys, this was the first calculator that you have actually created yourself. You were getting a number from the user and you were storing that value. Then you were getting another number from user, you're storing that value, then you were typecasting that into int, and then you were printing this value. So guys, I hope this video made a lot of sense to yourself and you were able to learn um, about variables and typecasting. So I want to give you an exercise on this, which I will in my next video. And I want you to, won't be a very hard exercise because we are just starting. Variables, I want you to practice it though, because this typecasting is very important. And that's why I'll be giving you an exercise in my next video. And I want all of you to attempt it and put your output in comments, because the more you do yourself, the more you will learn. Guys, I can't stress this enough that it needs to be done by yourself. Watching videos, watching any YouTube video, or reading a book will not help you if you're not practicing. Even if you have to do it like 10 times, 20 times, 50 times, it's fine. At the end, there's nothing to lose. Your practice will make you perfect, and that's what you need to do. I can only tell you the basics, I can't make you practice it. So that's my limitation. However, if you're watching these videos, you're liking them, please share your support. Share these videos with your friends. Like these videos, comment on them, and please, please, please subscribe to this channel. I can see a lot of people are watching these videos but are not subscribing them. So please subscribe to this channel. Show your support, guys. A lot of videos are coming in future. And as I said, I will be giving exercises so you can practice. So I look forward to seeing you in next video. Thank you.